How did you go from ring announcing to managing the Dudleys?
Uh, I guess, you know, so I was their personal ring announcer before that kind of transitioned into being thought of as their manager, because Sign Guy Dudley was out there as well, and he was in a managerial role as well. We used to joke around that the Dudleys were such a big organization. They were like wrestling's version of the Yankees, where you needed me and Sign Guy out there, and one of us at any given time was Billy Martin, and the other one was George Steinbrenner. So, but how I became their manager was I had been a ring announcer, and then we were bringing in lucha guys, and we were bringing in Damian, say, Damien. And he was a guy that was a lucha guy. He was Mexican, but really made a name for himself in Japan. And I had taken Spanish in junior high school, and first year college. And I took Japanese 2 years in college. And from being a tape trader and watching the AAA product, CMLL, and from watching a few different Japanese promotions, I spoke both languages and had kind of linguistically the affect and the accent and the intonation. I had them down well enough, and also knew the pro wrestling ring announcing style in those languages well enough that the first sideways move that I made was to become the foreign language ring announcer and wind up announcing the luchadors in Spanish and actually doing a trilingual and announcing Damien in English, Spanish, and Japanese. From there, Bob Ortiz, the regular Philly ring announcer, he had been on a hiatus for a few months. The hiatus was over, and he was coming back to be the full-time ring announcer. So I took another step sideways, and they turned me heel, and they tried me out as a heel ring announcer because I had a lot of that kind of heat on me anyway. Like with the ECW arena crowd, I had a lot of, this guy's, look at him, he's a pro, he's straight-laced, he'd never last a second on the streets. I had that, kind of, the way people in the NWA, kind of the way Mid-South and NWA fans would look at Jim Cornette, I kind of had that kind of stink on me, using it, not as a negative, but, I had that kind of vibe. And so they turned me heel to see if that would work. And that was, it was told to me that that was another step sideways. And every time there was a step sideways, I would try my best to make sure that it was a step forward, right? A step upward. So I did that. And being a heel ring announcer, I bounced off of a few different acts. I was with the FBI for a few weeks. I was with Chris Chetty under a mask when he first came out of the school. He was GQ Gorgeous Quartermain. I was with him. Devon and Axel, before Devon was with the rest of the Dudleys, because he came in as a heel while they were all baby faces. So I was with Devon when he was with Axel. And then when the rest of the Dudleys turned heel, Devon kind of turned them heel, and they became a heel stable, a heel faction. Then I was, because before that, like, I had taken the moonsault from Big Dick Dudley when he was a baby face and everything, but Devon turns everybody heel together until Spike comes in as the outsider baby face a year or so later, whenever it was. But so that's how I got packaged with the Dudleys, and we ran together for I think like 2 or 3 years.
How'd you get along, Bubba?
Man, Bubba is passionate about his work and his character and the Dudleys and the business and ECW at the time. And so he's very passionate, very intense. I know Bubba means well, right? I know, you see people on Twitter or whatever, he's a dick, he's this, he's that, he's a bit of an asshole, he's a bully, he's this, he's that, it's legit, it's real, whatever. He can be, if that helps him get across the point that he is pushing in that moment, he can be. Deep down in his soul, in his heart, I know he means well. Now, the middle point of all that, when you take all of that and put me and him and all that in a blender. What you got dynamic wise was that I got along with Devon better than and I don't want to say got along. Got along is the right word, the wrong word. The way I put it when I talk about it most often is the dynamic with Bubba and Devon, and then with me as the manager, when they would address me and we would bounce stuff off of each other. It was very much good cop, bad cop. And Devon was the good cop and Bubba was the bad cop. So that's not to say he's an asshole or a bully in real life. And it's not to say he was bad to me, mean to me, disrespectful to me all the time. There were given moments where we didn't see eye to eye. There were given moments where we disagreed. But end of day, I think the best way to describe it is that they had decided, I think, amongst themselves, or it just kind of played out that way, that Devon was going to be the good cop and Bubba was going to be the bad cop.
Okay, so let's plug your stuff. How can people reach you? Promoters want to reach you. Fans want to hear your podcast, your YouTube. Let's hear it.
All right. So you can reach me, I would say my Instagram is Quintessential Stud Muffin. My TikTok is Quintessential Stud Muffin. My Twitter is Stud Muffin Says. I host a podcast called 69-Minute Eargasm. You can find that wherever podcasts are, wherever you're going for all of your other podcasts that you listen to, you can find us there. You can also now find us on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. So 69-Minute Eargasm. What else do I have going on? I'm going to be at Legends of Hamburg in early September in Hamburg, Pennsylvania at the Fieldhouse. It's actually September 16th. 2 weeks after that, on September 30th, I'm going to be at 90s Wrestling Con that Tommy Fierro is producing in New Jersey. Yeah, are you going to be there?
I help Tommy with all of the events. I can't wait to
nice.
see you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, Hamburg in September, Hamburg on the 16th, 90s Wrestling Con in Jersey on the 30th. I do charity resale auctions on my Facebook. So facebook.com/MXW Joel Gertner. It's my main personal page on Facebook. So it's the one that's got, I guess, as close to 5,000 followers as whatever, because that's where the max out is. I say that because there are a few different pages. But if you can find my main primary Facebook page, and I hype this stuff, once you're if you can find me on one social media channel, especially two, you're going to find me on all 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. But we do these auctions. I'd like to be doing them every, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks. I think effectively I do them closer to about once a month. St. Jude is a frequent beneficiary almost every time. The one that we just did a week or two ago, half of the proceeds going to St. Jude, the other half going to Shotzi's sister's GoFundMe. So I'm doing that. Cameo. Yeah, I'm on Cameo. So you can find me there, cameo.com/Joel Gertner, Pro Wrestling Tees/Joel Gertner. I've got trading cards, ECW trading cards from Historical Cards and Collectibles. I'm going to be letting people know about those in the next week or so online. Action figures are coming out in the next few months. Yeah, just trying to stay busy.